You'd be surprised how hard it is to prove you're injured when your wounds don't bleed. It was the summer of 2009, 115 degrees. The air, hot and thick, to where it stuck to your lungs like guilt. Inescapable, personal, and sand. So much sand. We had grown accustomed to the alerts for the smaller attacks, but to hear incoming, that's different. An attack on a building we were standing outside of literally swept us off our feet. And my body became the blast. Snatched from gravity, thrown into the air like a doll. And the earth met me, head first, like concrete rage, and then darkness. But not poetic darkness, the kind that seeps into your soul and erases the very existence of your senses. So much so that at 38 years old, a nightlight is comforting. It is proof to me that light still exists and that I didn't imagine it all. I came home to sights and sounds I hadn't heard in months. And the thing about sensory deprivation is it's not just about the silence. It's the fight that your brain is in to fill that void. And at the time, as you saw, I came home to a little girl who needed her mom. Physically and emotionally available, but I had nothing to give. Because how do you soften something that needed to stay hard for survival? And how do you explain a traumatic brain injury that you can't see? One that doesn't show up in bandages and casts. I spent months doing functional MRIs, speech therapy, memory therapy, just to reorder my thoughts and find words that decided not to show up. When I walk into the VA, I am often mistaken for the daughter or the spouse. And don't get me wrong, there's honor in those titles. But it's also extremely important for me to be seen for who I am. I mean, let's be honest. I'm probably not what you think about when you hear the term disabled combat veteran. And oftentimes I question myself. Like when I pull up in the handicap spot, I stall, pretending to shuffle through the center console so folks can walk past me, because if I get out, do I look disabled enough? Will they judge me? Or even worse, say something. Somewhere in the fine print of service, they never talk about what happens when you don't come back whole. You're trained for two outcomes. Either you come back and prepare for what's next, or you don't come back at all. But this blurry, uncomfortable fucking middle, this is my life. And I'm not alone. So I've learned to rebuild myself. Steadily, sometimes clumsily, but without a manual. And without making a scene. Because there's no room to fall apart in a world that sometimes doesn't validate whether or not you belong. And to be honest, if I don't laugh about it, I'll cry. And then forget why I'm crying. So consider this. Not all wounds show up in scans. Not all heroes make the highlight reel. Sometimes they look like me. Still standing, hand shaking, speaking with a rattly voice and nervous, but proof that resilience is its own kind of brilliance. And I haven't stopped. Thank you.